I'm gonna tell you a story about a sweet little girl. She's a great student, teachers liked her, friends admired her. Her family is also rich, so she's basically a little princess.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who grew up in a wealthy family. Dad and mom are very strict with her and have very high hopes for her. And that also means very much pressure on the girl as well.
This boy was born in a nice and happy family. Poor, but happy. He had both his parents who took pretty good care of him. He did great in school all the way to uni. And eventually, he became a very talented coder and made a lot of money. But one thing he's never been good at, social life.
And she did grow up to be a successful woman, both in career and family aspects. She met a man, married him, and gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl.
And that baby girl grew up getting everything she wanted. Love, attention, everything. She went from a cute girl to the beautiful girl at school. She's in grade 6, but even those in different years knew her name.
As an aspiring businesswoman, she dedicated most of her time to her family's company. And that led to her neglecting her husband and daughter, which led to him having an affair with another woman. After divorcing her cheating husband, she became a tiger mom, raising her daughter all alone while working nonstop to push her already successful business even further. She's really determined.
He's always quiet and not great with people, never popular with girls, and had no friends. He used to be a lively kid when he was little though, but since the incident, he changed and turned weird somehow. He was molested by his favorite male teacher when he was 10. Part of him was disgusted by it, but another part of him also didn't hate what happened. He never said a word to anyone about that, ever.
After the divorce, she rarely got to see both of her parents. Her mom kept her away from seeing her dad, and work kept her mom away from being home. Still, she knew her mom had good intentions. She always obeys what her mom wants her to do, even when she doesn't really like doing them sometimes, like taking so many private classes.
You know how childhood traumas could change a person's life forever? That's exactly what happened to a boy who later became a policeman, because he himself, along with his sister, his little sister, almost became victims to a sexual predator when they were very young.
Yes, one event from your childhood could change you forever. Some for the better and some for the worse. Sometimes that's how a hero was made, but the other times, that's how a monster was created.
They said pedophiles are born, not made, which means a person can be a pedophile and not be a child molester. This means they're attracted to children, but they don't act on their urges. So, in other words, not all pedophiles are bad guys. But this one, well.
Since he was basically a horny teenage boy who couldn't get laid, he started becoming obsessed with porn. And later, he found out that he was especially into child porn. He started searching for them on the internet, and that's how he met a secret group where people exchanged photos and videos they got from different places and sources. He saw that some people who produced original material were getting praised as a hero. And of course, for him that's high value. And then he's like, I bet I can do that. He learned that he could find a pedophiles type in gaming groups on Facebook. So he always started there. The more girls he tricked and got away with it, the more confident he became. And it went on like this for like 10 years. And one day, he came across the girl.
It all started when her friends introduced her to this game. Well, let's call it LOV. She found it kind of cool and fun, so she ended up spending hours playing the game. She even hung out in this Facebook group called KND Club a lot.
She learned that her daughter spent a lot of time on the internet playing games when she asked for some extra money to buy a few items for the game. And since she always feels guilty for not being there for her kid more often, plus wanting to reward her for good grades, also taking comfort in knowing that her daughter always plays it with her friends. So the mother told herself that there was nothing to be worried about, and the kids would probably take care of each other.
He saw that among the new members joining the group, there was this cute little girl who really caught his eyes. She was exactly his type. In less than 10 minutes, he found her on Facebook and learned about everything he needed. Her house, her school, her friends, or he even connected the dots and saw what her relationship with her mother was like. Don't forget that he's very smart, this guy. Then he created a fake profile using a picture of someone who's much more good looking. He added her as a friend.
So, this is what we call cyber stalking. It is when someone stalks you on the internet, probably joining every group you're in or liking all the posts from 3 years ago. But some of them don't just stop with only stalking. They might post rude comments, troll you, or even track everything you did online, or even scarier, IRL, in real life.
He sent her a message saying, "Hey, I'm looking for the new team member. Wanna join?"
She was like, "Oh, great," and immediately said yes, because it's good as a newbie to have someone help her rank up. Plus, he's sending out kinda trustworthy vibe, and most importantly, he was so cute. Of course, good-looking guy equals good guy, right? This is called a halo effect, by the way. It is when you use one trait of a person to make an overall judgment. You might see someone good-looking and assume they're good people.
And he was like, "Oh, that was easy. Cute, young, and easy? Come on, there's nothing better than this."
Cute, high-ranked, and he's so grown-up. Nothing like all those creepy losers I need to keep blocking. Wow, this is my lucky day. So she thought.
Her daughter was in such a good mood lately, and that kind of improved the mother-daughter relationship in a way. Maybe online games weren't as bad as people made it out to be. As long as it didn't hurt her daughter's grades, she would just let it slide. You know, sometimes she just felt like being a kind, cool mom for a change, as opposed to a strict tiger mom she usually was.
Cute, young, easy, sexy. I know, sick, right? And not sick as in cool, but as in, gosh, you belong in jail. Anyway, he started chatting with her, asking her several questions, aiming at what the girl was likely to be interested in, according to what he learned from stalking her.
Talking with him was always nice because for some reasons, his interests seemed to be very similar to hers, and he was funny, especially when he's much older than her. She felt like she could trust this guy not to be creepy and obnoxious with her like all the young hormonal boys at school. And again, it was online, so she didn't think it could be anything dangerous. Sometimes he would make dirty jokes, but in a polite way, and she liked it. It made her feel like he is this cool uncle that wasn't so serious and strict, but also never crossed the line.
This is called grooming. Some adults could start off as normal, nice people who you can talk to easily, but then they slowly and subtly try to make you feel okay with inappropriate behaviors like chatting about sex. So, if an adult spends a lot of alone time with you or convinces you that you both are in a romantic relationship and especially tells you to keep secrets, that adult is probably grooming you.
He started to flirt with her, asking her if she ever thought about him during school. He said he did think about her sometimes when he's drinking with his friends.
She was like, wait, is he interested in me? And it's not like she doesn't like him or anything, so she went along with it.
During all this time, the mother had no idea what was going on with her daughter. She seemed normal, going to school and going to private classes. If anything, her daughter seemed less problematic, which is good news, right?
And one day, he was conducting his little test. While chatting with her, he kinda accidentally on purpose sent her a photo of him topless, wearing just underpants, and then quickly unsent it. He told her he meant to send her another photo and apologized. But he was lying. He was actually testing if she'd be okay with a certain level of explicit.
They were talking about games, and all of a sudden, boom, a semi-nude picture of the guy. He said, wrong picture, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Well, she said it was okay. Actually, she even commented on the photo. Wow, you must be working out. LOL.
And that's when he realized she wasn't bothered by the photo. He sent another semi-naked photo of his asking her opinion on the tattoo he just got. He knew he got her when she responded quite eagerly and commented more on his physique. Well, not his, but some guy's picture he randomly found online, of course.
This is what we call sexting. It is when people are sending and receiving anything sexual, like messages, photos, videos, using mobile phones, computers, tablets, whatever. Here's the thing. Sexting itself is not necessarily a bad thing at all, especially if it's consensual. But sexting done by an adult toward a minor or a child definitely is a no-no. Bad ideas. You can really go to prison for that.
One day, she told him about this new skin of her favorite hero that's coming out in a few days. But she probably wouldn't get it because it was so expensive, like absurdly expensive. Her mom wouldn't let her buy it, that's for sure.
And she gave him an opening again. He jumped at it and offered to buy it for her as a gift on Valentine's Day.
She was delighted and accepted it without a second thought. The skin was about 5,000 baht. To buy something this expensive for a girl on Valentine's Day? Come on, it must mean something, right? You probably liked her more than a friend, just like she did him. Well, I can totally see why she felt that way. I mean, I would too.
Ha! Just as I planned. She fell right into my beautiful trap.
But then he completely disappeared, totally ghosted her.
Totally gone, zero communication. They used to chat every single day, as a matter of fact, many times a day too. So disappearing on her for like 3 days felt so long and so wrong.
She felt a bit worried since she thought they could be more than friends. Like that was so sudden. She didn't even have a chance to thank him or do anything in return.
3 days later, he came back and said he had been busy with work. He told her he felt like he wasn't important to her because she didn't text him even once. But it was all a lie. He was guilt-tripping her into doing something he wanted.
The girl was like, I was worried about you, but I thought maybe you got bored of me or something. Then she asked him what he wanted in return for the Valentine's present he gave her.
You know, that was exactly what he wanted. Something in return. He started coercing her into sending him a photo of her breasts.
She was like, what the f?
Of course, she refused. So he switched from being the charming, polite man to a complete asshole. He threatened to tell her mom that she's been whoring herself out to guys in online games.
She was so shocked. How could he do this to her? But she finally gave in. What else could she do? She knew her mom's reaction would be, and somehow that was even scarier than sending this man a photo of her boobs. So she did. But she made sure her face wasn't shown in it.
But of course, this is not good enough. He wanted both her face and her boobs. So he kept insisting that she send him another photo.
She's really scared of him at this point and really needed help. But the thought of talking about this with her mom was completely out of the question.
The guy started pressuring her. He kept pushing her and told her that one of his friends was a police. If she didn't comply, she would report her for tricking him into giving her his money, whatever that means.
He said he knew all her information, where she lived, where she went to school, everything. She felt so trapped. Eventually, she sent him the photo he wanted because he just wouldn't stop.
In this case, the right thing to do is to tell your parents or police. According to Royal Thai Police, 56% of the children that are sexually exploited on the internet choose to tell no one. Most kids would be too afraid or too embarrassed or ashamed and shocked, not thinking clearly about the consequences of giving a criminal their naked photos. This usually leads to what is called sextortion, a combination of the words sex and extortion. So extortion is when someone gets what they want by force or threats. It's kind of like blackmailing. So sextortion is when someone threatens to reveal your sexual photos or activities unless you do what they want or give them money. That being said, recording a video while having sex is just a preference, and it's not an illegal thing to do at all if everyone in that video is of age and consents to it. Just be aware of the risk you're taking. The videos can accidentally leak, or your partner can use it against you after breaking up or something along those lines. But if you're in possession of child sexual material, that's definitely and indisputably illegal.
That was all he really wanted. With that photo, he could continue threatening her to send more and more nudies, or else he would post them on social media and her school's Facebook page for the whole world to see. That's the worst nightmare. If it's on the internet, it's gonna be out there forever.
The mom noticed that all of a sudden, her daughter became quiet. She barely ate anything and wouldn't come out of her room. She tried to ask her what was going on, but she said nothing. Still, she couldn't help but felt that something was off.
In the meantime, the man still requested photos from the victim. He was proudly bragging about the latest masterpiece and shared the photos to the members of the pedophile group he was in. And now he wanted to take it a step further and ask her to meet him in person. Photos and videos weren't enough anymore. He wanted to see her and touch her with his own hands now. This is getting sicker and sicker by the minute.
So the night before they were supposed to meet in person, she was so stressed out and terrified. But at that moment, she plucked up her courage and made the biggest decision of her life. She then said, "Mom, I've got something to tell you."
But the mom said, before you say anything, I want you to know that you can tell me everything, and I'll love you no matter what.
She broke down in tears and told her mom everything.
Although she was shocked, She tried to remain calm and told her daughter how proud she was of her for being so brave. Then the mother decided to call the police.
The police reassured them that he had a plan to catch a bad guy and asked the girl to send a message to the man one last time and leave the rest to the police.
She did as the police told her to. She texted a man and told him she would go meet him. And to make it feel even more real, she asked him not to leak her photos or harm her when they meet.
He went to the meeting point. All types of things he wanted to do with her ran around in his head. But he knew from his experience that some girls would chicken out and needed some little final push. So he texted her the screenshot of her school's Facebook page and was like, "Don't forget about our little date."
She saw a text pop up on her phone and started trembling in fear.
Luckily, the mother was prepared this time. She shut the phone off and hugged her daughter tightly.
The police had already been there when he arrived. They saw the man walk into the hotel and started closing in on him.
The girl hadn't even replied yet. He tried calling her but couldn't reach her. Something's not right. He was about to sneak out of the hotel when suddenly someone kicked the door open and tackled him.
And the perv was arrested on the spot with the screenshots of the chat as damning evidence. Some people might think she's lucky, but it's bravery and her understanding family that finally saved her, and many more.